Hey guys, it's the Random Reptile, and today I'm going to be doing a bearded dragon care video. So why don't we get started? Bearded dragons are a medium-sized lizard. They usually get from 18 to 24 inches. He's about 21 inches. But they come from the outbacks of Australia. And a lot of people say these are great beginner lizards. They're not hard to keep, but they just are a lot of work, especially when they're babies, so I wouldn't recommend these for a beginner. I would usually recommend some sort of snake or like a leopard gecko or something. But these guys are really fun. They are very tame, even though he's moving. They are very tame lizards, and they will let you handle them almost all day if you want to. But they are wild works, and I'll discuss that in a second. So. As far as caging goes, as babies you want to have them in a 20-gallon, but once they hit about 4 or 5 months, you really want to get them into something bigger. Most people say 40 gallons will do, but I really like to go bigger just because they are pretty big lizards. And 40 gallons are only 18 inches wide and they get above 18 inches. So this cage is 4 foot long by 2 foot tall and 2 foot wide and 20 inches tall. So it's pretty big, and it has these really nice sliding glass doors, so instead of removing all of his lights and screen and stuff, I just like it better. Sorry, the vacuum's on if you can hear that. What else? It's made of 3/4 inches melamine, or melamine, I don't know how to say it, but it's basically just wood treated to make it good for reptiles, I guess. I don't really know. It comes in white. And inside the cage, I have his basking spot. All you really need is the basking spot, a water bowl, and his salad bowl. And I'll talk about salad later. But of course you can put in decoration. I have that plant, the cactus, sorry, and his old basking spot. For substrate, I have Rectisand and Desert White. It's really the only sand to go for. At least that's what this breeder said. And I have it in white just because it brings out his colors more. In the white. That's why the cage is white also. Where are you gone? For heating, I have a 100-watt just light bulb that I got from Petco, plugged into that little thing especially for the cage. You want it to be probably about 100 to 110 degrees. I found that he's most active when his basking spot is 110 degrees or around there. That's only for the basking spot. Everywhere else, you want the cool side to be about 90 degrees and the warm side to be about 90 degrees and the cool side to be about 80. Sorry, I have a cold, so I'm coughing a lot. Anyway, for UVB, I have just a 10.0 Reptisun thing, light fixture, and it releases them. You must have UVB, because if you don't have UVB, they'll get metabolic bone disease and they will not live, well, they won't live very happily, and they'll be like handicapped and stuff. So you must have that. Alright, so for food, as adults mainly they're going to be eating salad. And there are tons of stuff you can get for salad. Most all vegetables, basically all fruits also, just besides like citrus and stuff, and no lettuces, because most lettuces are just mainly water, which has no nutritional value for them. So I'm not exactly sure what I have in here. It's either dandelion greens or kale, but you really want to vary it up. Don't give them kale every day. You want to give them, kale one day, dandelion the next day, I don't know, like mustard greens the next day, or collard greens, whatever. You really want to vary it up because it's more health. It gets more healthy that day. You don't want to have pizza or something every day. Well, that kind of sounds good, but so you want to have that every day, every single day. Sometimes I dust it with this, though I'm going to talk more about supplementation later. As far as protein goes, I have large superworms for him. I feed about 5 to 6 of these every other day. And obviously you have crickets also, but mostly just superworms and crickets are the way to go. Everything else is just mostly treat. Mealworms are really small. You have to feed a ton at one time, and you have to refrigerate them and stuff. Although, you know, I like these better than crickets, mostly just because I hate crickets. They always die on me, and they stink up, and they chirp, and it just, I do not like them. Although you really should have crickets for when they're babies, because they are nutritionally better than superworms. But mostly just as babies, because they're eating mostly salad now anyway. So feed protein every other day. As babies, you'll probably want to feed protein at least 2 times a day, 2 to 3 times a day, because they will die if you don't feed them a lot. Like, they die of starvation within several days. Only as babies, though. As adults, they'll be fine. Mostly because they have the salad. But, what I did when he was a baby is I fed phoenix worms in the morning, which is good because they're high in calcium. And then crickets for lunch and dinner. And, you know, that was a lot. That's why they're so hard to take care of when they're babies. Just because they're not hard, but they are a lot of work, sorry. So that's basically it. One thing I forgot to mention was this adult bearded dragon food by Zoomed. They're just little pellets. Hold on. Yeah, they're just little pellets. They're not very good. He doesn't like them that much. I feed them to him when I'm out of salad, because you want to be feeding them something. But I mean, this is supposed to be the whole diet. Like, you feed them nothing besides this. That's what you're supposed to do. I mean, not what you're supposed to, but that's what this is made for. But that is just completely stupid. So you really want to just go with the natural diet. I just have this because I don't even really know why I have this. Just when I'm out of salad. That's the only time you really want to feed it, and even then, he really doesn't eat it. It's just junk. Also, you really want to stay away from, like, the dried crickets and the dried mealworms and stuff. Like, sometimes they'll have, like, I'm not sure who makes it, but they're red pellets, and they have little dried up crickets or mealworms. That is just bad for them. It's not bad for them, but, you know, it can have bacteria and stuff, and it's just not good at all. Just stay completely away from that, the dried up insects. Okay, now we're going to talk about supplementation. Sometimes people might not think all the vitamins are the most important thing in their diet, but it is very, very important. We got Bearded Dragon Calcium Plus, made by Repoussé Superfoods. Oh, it fell. We got Repcal Phosphorus Feed Calcium with vitamin D3 and Herpative. Now, you're gonna want mostly this, because this is specialty Bearded Dragon Calcium, and this is just regular for anybody. I put this on his salad every once in a while, and I put this on his superworms every other feeding. Okay, every other feeding. That's what you do. Like, when they're babies, you want to put this once a day. If you're feeding them phoenix worms, and then crickets with that calcium, then crickets with this calcium. Okay. This you want to give once a week, so I do this every weekend. So if since there are 7 days in a week, obviously, but, you know, since you feed them every other day, it gets mixed up. So 1 week I'll be feeding them on Saturday, 1 week I'll be feeding them on Sunday. Every weekend, I put this on his superworms, and that's basically it with supplementation. Just make sure, like, if you're feeding him on a Monday, just feed him on Monday, and then when you feed him on Wednesday, nothing on it, just not powdered, and then Friday you want this on, and then Sunday you want this on. You have to have it pretty precise with this, and I put that on his salad, but I already said that. So that was my Bearded Dragon Care video. Thank you a bunch for watching.